Hello, beloveds. So it's been about 5 weeks now, 5.5 weeks since my partner passed to the other realm. And I just wanted to just share an update. The first 2 videos I did, and I did them after I finished a breathwork session. And same thing with this time. I did a session yesterday, and I think I'm gonna commit to doing more frequently. The only thing with breathwork is that it does take time to integrate afterwards, and you can tell it with my eyes or in my energy if I had just done a deep breathwork session, because you'll see that I had been crying, or you'll see the energy, because when tears and emotions are released, it does change the way that our eyes look, our skin appears, different parts of our body, our energy, our intention, and our focus. But what's so amazing is that after completing the process and then after the integration, each time you feel a little bit better. You feel a little bit more clear, a little bit more happy, a little bit more positive, a little bit more grounded and integrated. And what's also interesting is that the grief work isn't just grieving your loved one that passed away. It's also working through your inner child. It's working through trauma or other aspects of the self that are hidden within, and we don't necessarily know that they're there until you start to unravel those layers. And breathwork is so powerful. I find it to be just as powerful, around the same level of intensity as doing plant medicine work, doing ayahuasca or psilocybin, or these powerful plant medicines that are so popular now, which is another part of the work that I'm going to be doing, or that I am doing, is psychedelic integration coaching and healing sessions. I'll just say that for this video. Integration and healing work is so profound, and it's what's needed. People need that kind of help. They need that kind of healing to help process from a powerful experience. Powerful plant medicine work can bring up the deepest core traumas, or the deepest core imbalances. And traumas, I mean big traumas, like childhood traumas, like sexual traumas, rapes, assaults, PTSD, anxiety, depression, hardcore emotional imbalances. The plant medicine work will help to release these imbalances in our energies, in our DNA, in our brains, in our body responses to our heart, our energy, our emotions. And in that, it releases ancestral healing. So it's very shamanic. We're working on soul healing here. Soul healing, because we're not only working on like the present and unraveling stressors that are happening right now, but we're also working on healing aspects of our entire soul. And we're in this body in this lifetime, but our souls have been embodied in other bodies in other lifetimes, and we pass on from one body to another, and we continue to learn more lessons, and we continue to work through new things. And we may often repeat things. We may often repeat behaviors or karmic patterns until we learn them. And a lot of times when we do the plant medicine work, you can see your past lives, and you can see what needed to be completed, or what you already did complete, or what you already did heal. And you get a chance to heal it at a deeper level, and forgive the people in your life in the present and in this lifetime, your family members especially, your friends, the people that you've had a long history of closeness with throughout your lives. So the breath work I find to be just as powerful in other ways, and it's really great for integration. So after you've finished a process of medicine work, the breath work helps to continue the release of these emotions that the medicine brought to the surface. So it helps to continue the process. So the grief work, this grief work is so profound, and it accesses whatever it is that needs to be released. And there are layers. We have so many aspects of ourselves. There's so many different parts of ourselves that, we can live our lives and suppress things and take medicines that keep things down, keep things contained, keep things, calm and easy. And that's a path. That's one path. And that path might be perfect for you, and it might be the right way for you to get through this lifetime. But there's others of us who are determined to transform everything and to release at their core, and they're on the path of enlightenment. We're on the path of enlightenment, of ascension. And ascension is, in one way to describe it, is just transforming all of the self, the whole self, the emotional self, the physical self, the spiritual self, the energetic self, the psychic self, the mental, the past life, your energy body, your energy field, your chakras, your energies inside the body. And we have soul contracts with people that can take us off our path, that can distract us. And we all have lessons to learn. And the grief work, grief processing and grief healing there is no stopping it. Like, we have to go through this if we want to grow, if we want to move forward, if we want to continue to create a life of beauty, a life of love, a life of healing, and step into our power and step into our truth. We can't get stopped by our feelings of attachment to others that are causing us stress or anxiety or feeling controlled or feeling shut down. And grief is important to get through so that we can heal that stagnation. Because if we don't do the grief work, what happens is people can become depressed, or you may have anxiety from not having processed the feelings that need to be processed. Or there may be a lot of anger without doing grief work to let go of working through a loved one. Anger may show up, and anger could show up, and it may stay there for years until you do the grief work that's necessary. Anxiety may stay for years. People that don't process their feelings may just have a constant anxiety and not know why, and just, live their life and do things to manage the anxiety. But once you work through that anxiety and you really go deeper, you can see that it was just grief underneath that underneath anxiety, underneath anger, underneath depression is grief. So grief is just so crucial. It's important to do the grief work and doing grief work isn't easy if you don't know what to do, if you don't know how to access the grief, if you don't know how to remove the layers that are on top of the grief, anxiety, anger, depression, fear. If you don't know how to work through those emotions that are covering up the grief, then you can't get to the grief. And then you are just stuck. And you think that that's the way you are. But it doesn't have to stay that way. So I am sharing these videos of my process so that you can see that healing can happen. And I've been working as a healer, and I've been on this path of being a healer for a long, long time. And I'm just working on another level of that. A little bit older, and I'm still growing, and I'm still working on myself, and I'm still the same person, but I have different experiences, and I'll be sharing those experiences as I continue to share with you. So I did say that I would share about the Somatic Stress Release therapy practice. So I will talk about that in my next video. I will make the next video on grief. I will talk about grief and somatic stress release therapy, and what somatic stress release therapy is, what it's good for, how it's used, the different techniques and the different practices. So my main two favorite modalities right now are breathwork and the somatic stress release therapy. And then mindfulness meditation is also amazing. Those are the main practices, in addition to the plant medicine work that I'm studying and I'm learning about, and integration work. Those are the methods that I find to be the most profound. And Tantra is always going to be there. Tantra is a really great practice as well. And I'll share the way that I'm working with, the way that I'm using Tantra as a way of healing, more as a shamanic path of ascension. And I'll share about that too. All right, have a beautiful night, and I look forward to connecting to you very soon. Okay, namaste.